Hi everyone. I always get embarrassed at starting my s- streams, but hold on, I'm trying to get comfortable so I look okay. Um, I'm not the best of looks today, and a little bit confused in my wording. But anyway, um, this isn't going to be trauma dumping because I don't trauma dump. This is going to be trying to explain what I do every day to keep me busy and um, try to keep my sugar down as best as I can. Because of my other illnesses, I have mobility scooter. So mobility is quite hard for me to do exercise and stuff. So anyway, um, a little history about my diabetes. I My mother got gestational, which is high blood sugar during pregnancy. So she got that with me. None of her other kids showed signs of it with her, just me. And then when I hit my kids, see, I don't know, this camera's weird. It looks like I'm over here half the time. Anyway, when I had my three kids, nothing happened. Then with my fourth, I I produced sugar in my samples and my blood samples in the hospital. So it was gestational. They took me in for 6 weeks and put me on a sliding scale because you can't take oral insulin like monoclast or diamicron or told you my words are going today. Diamicron and the other more popular one. I can't remember the name of it. So you can't take them orally, and they didn't have the losing weight ones back then. So I had to go on proper insulin. Then when I had that child, um, they told me after I fed the baby that it would disappear. It would go out through the milk and it would be gone. And actually, that's actually what happened. Um, you do have extra big babies when you have gestational diabetes, and he was 10.5 pounds. Um, they were all around 9. My eldest daughter, she was 6 weeks premature and she was 8'4". So I wouldn't like to see what she would have been if she went full term. Then the last baby I had, he was diabetes for him was really uncontrollable. I could not control it, and I was getting weak in places. And there's other signs that she needed to look out for, which I saw different in Kuwait. No, no, in Thailand, which I'll explain in a minute. With my last baby, I fed him, I fed him. Well, I was going to feed him anyway, but um, it didn't work like the first gestation diabetes I got. No matter how much I fed him, the sugars didn't leave my body. So I was left with diabetes after having gestation with him. Um, Hereditary wise, my mom, my dad, my brother, two of my brothers, two of my sisters have borderline diabetes. My second eldest brother, my youngest brother, he had it quite bad and he had to go on pill medications, but it still wasn't controlling it, so he walked and he walked and he joined, became the captain. No, not the captain. Anyway, he taught camogie and um, Gaelic to the girls in the village where he lives. So he would bring them out on a Saturday morning. His two daughters was involved as well, and they'd all um, train for their particular games. Games. Their camogie and their Gaelic. I can't remember what. I can't remember what they're called. It's not football. It's not. Anyway, you know what I mean. He trained them, and with that, he was getting more exercise. So they could cut him down on his. I can't remember the bloody name of it. And I'll remember the name of it after the live is finished. I know well. So that's the family history. So I was going to get it either. So my family history are the kids' history on their dad's side. The granny had it. There's a couple of them with borderline, so there's no doubt my kids. Actually, my eldest lad has it as well, and he's on the same injections as me. So the baby of the house was born. So I've been left with diabetes. You can count up the 9 months of the pregnancy with him. So pretty much 22 years. For a long time when the kids were small, I was non-compliant. I was trying my best, but with 5 small kids, it was quite hard. So this is a flare day. This is a flare day of fibromyalgia. My brain fog today is horrendous. Horrendous. As you can hear. And when this part of the fibromyalgia starts, my words get confused, I get tired, I get pins and needles, which I have pins and needles in this arm today, in my left arm. And it drives me absolutely demented. But I put up with it. I'm on medication for it anyway, but it hasn't kicked in yet, and I took it here hours ago. Sidetrack back to diabetes. Just to note, I have about five that I can remember autoimmune diseases, and diabetes is actually an autoimmune disease too. And so the baby was born. I was left with it, non-compliant for a long time because I was busy. I was doing things. I was trying to sort out daily life with the kids, which was difficult. So yeah, I've been there. I've been with the non-compliant, um, not wanting to believe you've got it because there's so much hard work into it, and it is one of the illnesses that it's not hard work, but it's hard to keep on top of. Yeah, I'll get into all the illnesses I have, but yeah, it affects your gums, your face, your body. Anyway, I'll get back to that. I don't know when I went back to testing and trying to do my best and look after it. It was probably during college, because I had to keep going. I had to be well. So I'd say it was during college time, and that would lead me up to the biggest diabetic issue was 3 years ago, August 3 years ago, I think. It was during the pandemic, anyway, when all the injections were given out and everybody was ending up in A&E, or not A&E, IT, intensive care, ITC unit for a week on monitors with a needle in my artery of my neck because my veins were popping good, or they were blowing out, so they couldn't use them. So I had to get an internal. I just have to try and explain it. It's a needle that goes into my artery and down into my chest, into my heart, into my chest. Um, well, not just near my heart, right? Because it's going through your artery, so it's going to be going into your heart anyway. Because your heart is connected to your arteries, your artery in your neck. That's why you can get your pulse. And if somebody's on the ground, you don't lift up their arms and anything in case anything is wrong with them. You test for the pulse in their neck. 2 fingers against the artery in the neck to get the pulse. There's a little explanation. Actually, I should have given the disclaimer at the start that I am not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just giving the opinion on the diabetes as per how I had to learn about it, had to put up with it, had to be there. So anyway, yeah, I ended up in intensive care for a week, getting all sorts of magnesium, potassium, insulin into my neck. They would take blood out of my neck as well, because that was their main access. So they didn't have to touch my body because of the veins. So that was their main access for blood tests. So they were sending blood tests every 2 to 3 hours to the lab. It was a whole thing. I was very sick, very, very sick. And it was actually your blood sugar when it's high is bad enough. Um, but what you need to check, and I have the monitor and I was meant to show it today, I will show it tomorrow. You have to check your ketones. Now my monitor is exactly the same as Chantal's. It looks the same and it does the reading of the high blood sugar the same. But when you take it out and put a different strip into it, it's a ketone strip and it'll test you for your ketones. The normal level of ketones in your body should be 0. Because ketones are not good. What they start doing is they start breaking down fat in your body to turn it into sugar. I'll have to look that up as I don't want to give false information. But it eats, ketones start eating and living off the fat in your body. So it's quite dangerous. It's very dangerous. And at that time when I went in, my ketones were at 6 into intensive care. What I've been told and I've been advised is when I check my ketones when I'm sick, when I'm sick, I don't eat, and that's the problem. So there's no food to go in for the insulin to break down or for to use the stuff that I've eaten instead of the fat on my body. That makes sense. That's what it is, really. So I'm so sorry. I can't do what my head wants to say and do. My mouth can't decipher it. fibromyalgia, brain fog. That's it today. It's just crazy today. Um, so yeah, all the needles into my neck. I was there for a week. They got my blood sugars down and they got my ketones down. Oh yeah, what I was advised is if my monitor tells me 1.5, I have to go to the doctor to get some medication to bring it down, the ketones down again, or just to rinse. What I'm advised to do is if they do go a little bit high, between 0 and 1.5, drink loads of water. Drink water, 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 because it'll flush all the sugar out through the kidneys. And that's why I have kidney damage as well. So flush it out with that. If it goes up to 2.5 or 3, no, if it goes up to 1.5 and I can't get it down, go to your GP. If it goes to 2.5, go to the hospital. But if it goes to 3 and over 3, I will be in intensive care. So that's what I don't want to do. So I do keep an eye on it so that does not happen. So I was in intensive care getting all that stuff done. And since then, I have been trying really, 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 really hard. Yeah, it's difficult some days. And my biggest difficulty is I drink water. I drink all day. I drink all night. So my over here they've a weird way of if you have drinking diabetes or if you have eating diabetes. I don't eat an awful lot, but I have started to try and eat 3 meals. I'm supposed to have 3 meals and 2 snacks, but I don't want that. And I eat very little, but I drink quite a lot. I have mainly water. You hear the ice? No, water in that big cup and full of ice. So that's my first day of trying to explain and help in some way. Maybe I might help someone, if not Foodie, which I really would like to help her and go through this together. But it's not going to be for long, and she's going to go back. I know the cycle. Everyone talks about the cycle. I've been in the cycle many times, and but it wasn't my art kind of thing. It was just explaining stuff. I suppose. Yeah, it's not an art. It's an explanation of what I'm doing, how I do it, what I do for my day to day. The next time I will get onto the monitors because I have a really cool monitor on my stomach, injected into my stomach, and I want to show how that's changed in my body. What I mean is, one is taken off. It gives you an alarm every 10 days that it needs to be renewed. So you take that one that's in your tummy off. You get the Dexcom, and it's called a Dexcom 7 if you want to look it up on YouTube. And you put it to your tummy, click in the button, and it will inject the monitor into my tummy, which will test the blood. I'm actually giving all the explanation today instead of the next day, but anyway, it's okay. Yeah, it injects the monitor into my tummy so that I can get the readings through Bluetooth on my phone. So I don't have to prick my fingers anymore unless I'm really sick, and just to make sure that there's no ketones there or there's no, to make sure there's no blood. No blood. Make sure there's no sugar in the blood. That's what it does. And it stays in your tummy for 7 days until the next one. Another thing that the issue I have to take into consideration when with my sugars is because a lot of my medication, the capsules The outer side of capsules are actually gelatin. Most of them are mostly gelatin, um, little pods. So there's sugar already before I've even taken the tablets. But a lot of my tablets that I'm on for other illnesses send my sugars completely off the rails, as haywire as be damned, and it's very hard to get them controlled again. Then you have to think about food. And yes, you cut down carbs, absolutely. But there's carbs in things that you wouldn't even believe and wouldn't even know that when they change from capsule form, sorry, from capsule into gelatin and then into sugar. But anyway, oh yeah, I'm talking about food. Um, if you make a stew, all those the compounds of a lot of vegetables and fruit and vegetables, the compound of them in their whole natural state is fine. But then when you start changing the molecular structure of the fruit and veg, you change it from being just an ordinary carrot. My head is so you're changing an ordinary carrot in its raw state. Then you start messing around with its molecular structure, and then it becomes carbohydrate. Then it becomes carbohydrate. So things that I can't touch with veg concerned is a stew. Love it. Love me a nice stew. But everything is being changed. Their properties and their structures are being changed. So you're talking about carrots and meat, possibly beef chunks, carrots, parsnip, anything you put into it, like a gravy or a sauce or something like that, all changes through the boiling. And then you add your thickener, which we use soup here as a thickener. So you mix up your soup in a cup and you mess with that into. You don't mess with that. You put it into your stew to make it thicker. So there's all the carbohydrates. If I eat a good sized bowl of stew, and it's still about half the size of Foodie's bowls, I'm in bed for the day and night, and possibly the next day, depending on how much I've ate. But I do love stew, but it kills me. It sends me sugars mental, and like I don't know what. Right, first of all, I'm more than half of her weight. Um, yeah, I am more than half her weight. I don't know what. So lots of people say different heights and that. I'm 5'4". They say she's 5'2". Um, it's not easy. It's not easy, but you have to get your health right. Um, I do anyway. And so yeah, that's what this is about. And I might actually put it into its own playlist. I might do that. Put my day-to-day life on a playlist of its own, um, to try and give Foodie some sort of a boost in her health arc. This isn't an arc for me, this is a lifestyle. It's what I have to do every day. It's what I've been doing for years and years. Um, so yeah, I think that's about it for today because my words don't come easy to me today. Um, Nothing is coming easy to me today. A lot of people, when they're going through a flare like this, they get anxious, they get agitated, they get annoyed. Um, I just let it happen. It's just going to happen, and it's from the weather here now. We're going down to 0 or to the 0 degrees tonight. Um, so the cold plays a big part in my health and in my social life and in everything actually. Because if it's cold and horrible, and I go outside and I break out in a load of spots, vasculitis spots all over my face, but I hit all over my body. Um, so I tend not to socialise or do anything during the winter because just can't in the cold. So it's very hard for me to do anything, and even walking around the house, I'm okay. I'm good walking around the house. And coming down the stairs, especially yesterday, I felt like I was going to fall down. I think I must have got vertigo or something at the top of the stairs, but I was grand. Himself come up to help me down the stairs in case I fell. So I do want to. My challenge wouldn't be the eating of stuff. Like today, I had 2 slices of brown bread, whole brown bread, a small scraping of butter, or not mayonnaise. I hate butter. I don't know why I said that. A small scraping of mayonnaise and some ham. Then my dinner was oven fried or air fried chips, about 10. There was about that much on the plate. Peas, sweet corn, and fish. And I'm going to have yogurts maybe for my tea, and then maybe another sandwich before I go to bed, so that keeps my sugars level overnight. But sometimes, like that's what such a roundabout way of getting out this out. Um, I could have a sandwich, and it would send my blood sugars over 17. But the thing is, why I have to take my insulin half an hour to an hour before I take my food. So it has already kicked in. I take my food and the level will go, because it's done by a chart on your phone. So you can track the insulin going up, 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 up. You eat, it stops. And then the insulin can break down the food that you've eaten. So then it starts going back down. So yeah, it has spiked way over 17 after a ham sandwich, but then the insulin will kick in and bring it back down again. So it's not really up to me because as I said before, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I'm not a health professional. I'm just giving advice I'm just giving tips and tricks on how I do things. But yeah, I think definitely medication is going to do the world of good. And exercise, yeah. And that beach last night was lovely and everything, and it was really nice to see and watch. But you all right? Um, why did she have to go for a drive to go and do a walk? And then I'm thinking it is quite dark around their apartments, like um. Yeah, it's quite dark around their apartments, so I probably don't blame her for walking there. But yeah, I hope she starts getting the exercise in and doing it more frequently, even if it is around the beaches and stuff. And to start off with, you don't have to go mad. And you know, people might expect way more off you than you can give, and they'll start talking about that. But if you do something, I can't walk at all mostly. I just walk around the house. That's my exercise, up and down the stairs. So, but I would like before next year to get out and be able to walk just a little bit more. I used to walk miles, 10 kilometres a day. I used to walk, and I'd do 30 laps of the swimming pool. I'd leave my daughter into college, and the swimming pool was like a 2 minute walk away. So I'd park the car, drop my daughter in at the college, and I'd go down and I'd get into the pool, do 30 lengths out and go home, and then go back in for her later on in the evening and do a full-time job and look after kids. And now look, I'm barely able to look after myself. I can't even look after my words, never mind myself. But anyway, um, I think I'm going to like this. People will see a different side of someone behind the screen. Um, so yeah, this is me. This is me raw and telling you how my sugars went, how my body reacts to things, what the medications do to me, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Hi, cement shoes. Don't worry about it. I'm just going, and I'll be back on tomorrow and give everyone the lowdown tomorrow. Don't know what this show will be about. Probably me and Foodie, and what I do to contract to calm down my sugars when they're high, and all that sort of stuff. And it's not a trauma dump. Don't trauma dump. So yeah, it's not a trauma dump. I'm just comparing my diabetes treatment to um, help another person with her newly diagnosed diabetes. Hopefully, but she'll probably never watch it, and whatever. However, sometimes I have said things and she would bring it up, and I'm like, did she just really think that up herself? So nobody ever knows where or how Foodie's getting her information, but a lot of speculation into it. So now, Cement Shoes, I will talk to you later, talk to you tomorrow, and getting to know me, getting to know all about me. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.